You use it every day. You think about it constantly. You probably wish you had more of it. But how well do you actually understand money? We're taught to save it, work for it, avoid debt. But the truth is, most of what we've been told about money is either outdated or deliberately misleading. In today's episode of Things You Didn't Know, but Should, we're diving into mind-bending fact about money that reveal just how strange, fragile, and even fictional our financial system really is. By the end, you'll see wealth, debt, and value in a completely different light. Let's begin. Let's dive into it. 90% of money doesn't exist. Let's start with a simple, terrifying truth. The money in your bank account, it doesn't really exist. Globally, only about 8 to 10% of money is actual physical cash, coins and notes. The remaining 90%, it's nothing more than digital entries on a screen, a code stored in the bank's internal system. When you check your balance on an app or ATM, you're not seeing real dollars. You're seeing a promise that money exists. But if everyone decided to withdraw their funds at once, the system would collapse. We live in a world where value is virtual. Your wealth is a number on a spreadsheet, and that number, it's only as real as our collective belief in it. Banks create money from nothing. Here's something even crazier. Banks don't just hold money, they create it. Through a system called fractional reserve banking, your local bank can lend out far more money than it actually has. If you deposit $1,000, the bank only keeps a fraction, say $100, and lends out the rest to someone else. Then that person deposits their loan into another bank, which can lend out even more. It's a loop of debt that literally manufactures money. That's why your mortgage, your car loan, your student debt, these are all forms of money that never physically existed until you signed a contract. Money is created through trust and obligation, not through gold or printing presses. The pandemic created 80% of all U.S. dollars. Here's a headline that shocked even economists. Over 80% of all U.S. dollars in existence today were printed or created between 2020 and 2021. To combat the economic effects of COVID-19, the U.S. government pumped trillions of dollars into the economy. Some were printed. Most were just added digitally. This massive injection of currency wasn't matched by an increase in goods and services. So naturally, prices began to rise. That's called inflation. If you ever wonder why everything from eggs to rent suddenly costs more, this is a huge part of it. Too much money chasing too few goods drives up prices. And the people who suffer the most are those who don't own appreciating assets. The dollar used to be backed by gold. Today, our currency is backed by, well, nothing. But that wasn't always the case. Until 1971, U.S. dollars were backed by gold. That meant you could exchange a $100 bill for actual physical gold at any time. But President Nixon changed that with a stroke of a pen. The U.S. abandoned the gold standard, transforming the dollar into a fiat currency, meaning it has value simply because the government says it does. This gave central banks more control over the economy, but it also made the system more fragile. Now, money is just paper backed by promises. This shift changed the global economy forever, and it's part of the reason financial markets today are so volatile. Rich people use debt to get richer. While most people are told to fear debt, the wealthy have learned to weaponize it. They borrow money to buy income-producing assets like real estate, stocks, and businesses. These assets grow in value and generate passive income. Even more clever, instead of selling these assets and paying capital gains taxes, they take out loans against them. This strategy, called buy, borrow, die, lets the rich live lavishly without technically earning taxable income. It's one of the reasons billionaires can legally pay less tax than the average worker. They're not breaking the rules. They just understand them better. Cryptocurrency isn't just hype. Most people think Bitcoin is a fad or a digital lottery ticket, but it's much more than that. Cryptocurrency is built on blockchain, a decentralized technology that removes the need for banks or middlemen. Every transaction is public, permanent, and virtually impossible to fake. It's money with transparency and control baked in, something fiat currencies lack. Governments can print money, but no one can just print more Bitcoin. And that's exactly why so many investors, especially younger generations, are betting on it. It's not just a trend, it's a new philosophy of money. So what is money, really? Is it value? Is it freedom? Is it just the shared illusion? Here's the truth. Money is a tool, and like any tool, the way you use it determines whether you succeed or stay stuck. Most people were never taught how money works. But now, you're not most people. If you found this video eye-opening, even just one of these facts, do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next episode. We got more mind-blowing truths on the way, from science to psychology and everything in between. This is Facts and Curious 2.0, and you're watching things you didn't know, but should. Until next time, question everything.